looking today at what we mean by yesterday, collecting over a year's worth of, maybe almost 2 years worth of web comics that Benjamin Marra did. Um, I interviewed Benjamin Marra like 4 years ago, I think, on my channel. I don't know how that interview happened, but I'm so glad that he was graceful enough to show up and do an interview. So if you want to see that interview, I'll link to it down below in the information. But let's take a look at what we mean by yesterday. I remember, we talked about this at the time, and I kind of didn't really read it because I'm not really the webcomic format of reading something every day. It just doesn't. I can't really do it. I looked at it and I thought, it was in the middle of the story, and I was going to wait for the collected edition. I knew it was coming, so I finally got my hands on a copy, and let's check it out. So he provides some instructions at the beginning on how you want to read it. He suggests reading it one page a day, and preferably around 3 in the afternoon, I think he says. But I decided just to read it as fast as I could, because one thing I found is that it really has a great speedy energy. I find that reading it fast actually was much preferable to my liking, and I can't imagine reading this one a day. It would, I remember like comic strips like Dick Tracy and Annie, trying to read those as a kid, one a day, and it's just the pacing's so slow. So I loved reading this really fast, because one thing is kind of, you'll notice, okay, first off, even at the very beginning, the art is very simpler, and Benjamin Marra has a variety of styles, and you see his paintings, he must work on those for probably weeks or something, because they're just so detailed and beautiful, his art, his paintings. This is very different. Obviously, it's all black and white. It's just all line work, and as he goes along, one thing you start to notice is that, I'm going to jump ahead a little. The art becomes more and more stripped down, and just like pure expression of just what you can do. I can't remember if he said that he does this at the end of the day or at the beginning. I feel like he said at the end, after he's already done his other art. He just wants to, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's at the beginning. But either way, it's like I said, it's basically he's trying to do it as fast as he can and just get the raw emotion down. And okay, so you can see, like, jumping ahead, the art has already changed quite a bit. It's just it's fascinating to me how that change happened. And I liked the beginning. Let's go back and look at the beginning. I like this art. It's very much of a simpler. This is almost like his regular comic books, like Terror Assaulter, but as he goes further along, it just becomes more and more raw, and just pure line work and energy of what he wants to show. And I'd be curious to know how long it takes him to actually draw one of these strips now, because he's still going at it on Instagram. These are, I think he's done over 3 years or now. So I think we're probably due for another volume of what we mean by yesterday. But essentially, the story is, I'm curious too about how much he plots this out, or if it's like he just does it a day in advance. I don't know, because there's just so many moments in it that are just so many little characters and so many weird little instances that it's just hard to say how much he plans it out and how much he just kind of riffs as he goes along. But either way, I read this over 2 days. I could have read it in one day if I had the time. I was just kind of busy, but I think the best way to read it is just to burn through it in one day. You can probably do it in under, I don't know, an hour or two at most, but it's just pure energy and so much weird little moments and things that you're not expecting, and you're like, where's he going with this? And um, I can't, like I said, reading this over a day at a time, it's popular, and I understand why it's popular, but I just don't have the patience. I just preferred reading through it as fast as I could. So much ultra violence, ultra weirdness, and yeah. So it ends on a cliffhanger. So it really makes me want to go back and read the strips, but I'm just going to wait for volume two because I think I don't have the patience to click through every day and to hunt down the strips. But um, yeah, if you've never read Benjamin Marra, maybe this is a good place to start. In terms of story, the art, I feel like he's done a lot better art, but I still appreciate the story and the wildness of it, and just there's a lot of great laugh out loud moments. But basically, it's following this character through his wild, wild day, like Mr. Toad's Wild Wild Ride. So yeah, if you like weird, explicit, over the top action humor, I can't even describe it or compare it to anything. This is probably a book to check out, and I'm a Benjamin Marra fan. I think yeah, for me you can't miss with this stuff. Like it's all worth seeking out, and I'm curious to see where he's going with this and what comes next. So check it out. What We Mean by Yesterday. I assume the title refers to just how wild this. If it all is going to take place in one day, I'm not sure, but it's clearly a very wild day.